Now, before we get started, I would really love if you hit the subscribe button and the notification bell so you can get the latest content from the YouTube channel, The Last Rewind. And don't be shy about leaving your comments at the bottom of the page, because you are the sole reason why this channel will be successful. Thank you.
Hello, this is Tremaine, and we're coming for you from The Last Rewind. Before I get into this video, please like, comment, and subscribe. As you can see from the star behind me, I am a huge Dallas Cowboy fan. Today, I am going to speak on the Dallas Cowboys and everything that may be wrong with them or right with them. I'm gonna give you a little backstory. So I became a huge Cowboy fan in the 90s, in their heyday, when they were, what many would consider them to be good. My dad was a Pittsburgh Steelers fan. It was like a rivalry in our house. My mother was a huge Cowboy fan, which is basically how I got sucked into this hell or that I've been enduring for the past couple years. So, as far as it goes with the Dallas Cowboys, they are a very good football team. They are. Recent years, they've gone 12-5, and they can get the job done in the regular season. Unfortunately, the football season doesn't end when the regular season, because if you are good enough, you're going to go to the postseason, and that's where the Dallas Cowboys struggle. I personally think the main issue starts at Jerry Jones. I think Jerry Jones is a great businessman. I think Jerry Jones is a great businessman, but Jerry Jones, he wants people to know that he knows football. Or maybe he does, because I know he did play when he was younger, but I think Jerry Jones needs to stick with the business of the Dallas Cowboys and not the actual football portion of, in the 90s, Jerry Jones hired some tremendous coaches. Well, one particularly in Jimmy Johnson. That's where the Cowboys had their, that was their heyday. Back-to-back Super Bowls. It was 90, 94, and 93. Back-to-back wins in the Super Bowl, might add you. So that's when they were doing their thing. Emmitt Smith, Troy Aikman, Michael Irvin, Deion Sanders later came over to the team, and they were just tremendous at that point. Years later, the Cowboys, they definitely went through a quarterback slump. I believe at one point Vinny Testaverde was a quarterback, Quincy Carter was a quarterback, Andrew Bledsoe, and then we stumbled upon Tony Romo. I believe in 2008-ish, if memory serves correct, we stumbled upon Tony Romo, and things were looking promising with Romo until they weren't looking promising with Romo. Romo led us to a couple of 8-8 seasons, no playoff appearances, a lot of no playoff appearances, and I always thought Romo was good on paper. I think he's a great analyst now. I always thought he was good on paper, but it's almost like they settled for what we could get at the time, and that was Romo. Fast forward, I believe it's 2016. Here comes Dak Prescott. Romo gets injured in a preseason game against the Seattle Seahawks. Here comes Dak Prescott. Dak Prescott lights the league up 2016. I mean, he didn't throw a pick. It was weeks until he threw his first pick. I'm just going to say the end of the season until he threw his first pick. Oh, the irony in that, right? He was lighting them up. He was good. I mean, he could do no wrong. Got us to the playoffs. We won the NFC. Won the NFC. Had a first round bye. Second week in the playoffs. What did we do? We get stomped by the Rams in the divisional round. We get stomped by the Rams in the division round. Oh, allow me to go back because I am forgetting the year Romo took us to the playoffs. The Dez caught it catch. That was 2014ish, and that was probably the closest we got with Romo. But what do? 2016ish, we get stomped by the Rams. And there's the season. The next year, I mean, in years after that, it was hit or miss. You know, it was some seasons we don't go to the playoffs. We have a good season. I feel as if the Cowboys now are in this place of we're gonna get to the playoffs. They're gonna get to the playoffs. They're a good enough team. They're a playoff team. It's certain there are playoffs teams and then there are playoff contending teams. Is Dallas a playoff contending team? But they are definitely a playoff team. They will get to the playoffs. Dak Prescott will get them to the playoffs. May even win the NFC East, back-to-back NFC East champions for the first time, I believe, since 2005. Because, to be quite frank, Dallas shouldn't have won the NFC East crown last year. Should have been Philly all the way. Philly just, I don't know what the hell happened to them towards the end of the season. But in all honesty, that should have been Philly. Dallas kind of took that. But I do believe Dallas will win it this upcoming season. As a Cowboy fan, I'm never concerned about whether they're going to get to the playoffs anymore. I that fear is behind me now. I do believe they will get to the playoffs. I need them to show up in the playoffs. I mean, we have too much talent on the roster to not show up in the playoffs. Regardless of what you may think or say about Dak Prescott, he is not a bad quarterback. The lights may get a little too big for him at times, but he is not a horrible quarterback. The man did beat Tom Brady almost 2 years ago. And I know a lot of you can say, oh, that was Tom Brady on the decline and Tom Brady was on his way out, but he's still your quote-unquote GOAT, and that man did beat him in a playoff game on the road in Tampa Bay. I'm just spitting facts there. It is what happened. And if you want to go back, he did beat Russell Wilson, but that was at home. But, I mean, that's not making the case too much because it's like 2 playoff wins, and I think Dak's been playing since 2016, so you do the math there. But I do believe they have what it takes. The Dallas Cowboys has what it takes right now with the roster they have right now. They do. I know at the end of the season, us as Cowboy fans, we get pissed, man, because right now that's all we got. We don't have football right now, and we hold on to it until September. Like, we are ready, and then end of January, beginning of February, when your team's out, you are pissed, and Dak throwing picks left and right. But if you go back to that Green Bay game, yes, a lot of it is Dak's fault. Some of it is the defense fault. Here's what I am going to repeat. Dak Prescott does not play defense. Michael Parsons plays defense. DeMarcus Lawrence plays defense. And you got to stop the run. You got to stop the run. I do believe a key element that was missing throughout this season for the Dallas Cowboys was Van Der Esch. He did play, but he got injured, I believe, against the Giants, if I'm not mistaken. I could be wrong on that. But he got injured, and that was the presence in the middle that we needed to stop the run. And that hurt us going into the playoffs. But going into that Green Bay game, yeah, there was a lot of mistakes Dak made, defense made. But they were preventable, and they could have been. Dallas still was in the game at halftime if they just got their shit together. Dallas isn't a team that plays from behind well. I know that as a Cowboy fan. They don't play from behind well. And once they got behind, yeah, it was kind of doomsday. But I was hopeful because they were at home and they hadn't lost a game at home all season. So I was a little bit hopeful. But in the back of my mind, at halftime, I was like, oh shit, this may be it. But that was last season. Going forward to this season, like I said, I do believe we will win the NFC East again. I do. But that isn't even something I care about or I worry about. What I care and worry about is, doing well in the playoffs. We got to stop the run. We got to stop the run. Even games that we won last year, the teams were running all over us. We got to stop the run. We have to stop the run. That comes with the D-line. We got to stop the run. You got to stop dropping Michael Parsons on third down. And I know that was Dan Quinn, and I know now Dan Quinn is a Washington Commander. John, my homeboy John, love you, dude. I'm happy for you because you're about to have your baby, but he's your problem now. But you're dropping Michael Parsons in third down coverage. What the hell is that? He needs to blitz. He needs to blitz at that point. That was another reason we lost against Green Bay. The reason we lost against, I want to say Miami too. You got Michael Parsons dropping on third down. Why? Why, Dan Quinn? I hope Mike Zimmer rectify that, because it was a horrible coaching decision, especially on third down. Why isn't your top pass rusher blitzing? Don't know. But gotta stop the run. That's first and foremost. As far as the corners, we got Bland, we got Diggs coming back, we got Gilmore. I'm pretty confident with the pass protection. I'm pretty confident with the pass protection. It's the run. Now going on the offensive side of the ball for the upcoming season. Obviously, Dak Prescott is the, he's driving this. He's basically driving this train here. Dak Prescott is basically driving this train here. Sorry, I got a text from my wife. Dak Prescott is basically driving this train here, and can he get it done? Yes, he can get it done. I am going to say this right now. Dakota Rain Prescott, I believe that's his real name. He can get it done. He needs some help, naturally, like any other quarterback, but he can get it done. He can get it done. Tony Pollard was a huge deterrent last year, because Tony Pollard was running all over everyone the year before, but that was sharing the ball with Zeke. And then Tony Pollard, if you recall, got injured in that San Francisco game with that hip drop tackle, and I don't think he ever was himself. And then when he started to get back to himself, that was the end of the season, and it was all but done at that point. What we need to be doing right now, if you are a Dallas Cowboy fan, is praying to the gods above that Stephen Jones, Jerry Jones, Eddie Jones, I don't care, Pac-Man Jones, I don't care, any Jones, they need to get on the phone right now and call up Derrick Henry's agent, mama, grandmama, I don't know, call up somebody who's related to Derrick Henry, and he needs to be sitting across from Jerry Jones like yesterday, signing a contract. That is what we need right now. I'll even take Saquon Barkley at this point, because I know he's on the market, but I prefer Derrick Henry. We can get Derrick Henry in the backfield. That will relieve a lot of pressure off Dak Prescott. That opens up the play action. In the pass game. That will help tremendously going into next season. It would. We still got Mike McCarthy, and that's a hit or miss, because Mike McCarthy isn't a terrible coach. I think once the game is close, his clock management gets the best of him, but he's not a terrible coach. He's not. He did win a Super Bowl. I believe it was 2010, 2011 with Aaron Rodgers. And yeah, that was a prime Aaron Rodgers, but, he did win the Super Bowl. Mike McCarthy was the one who threw the challenge flag on Dez Bryant and stopped us from going to the Super Bowl that year. But I do believe Mike McCarthy is a good enough coach. Now, here's what we do know about Mike McCarthy. This is his last season. Win or lose, he's gone. So I hope he makes the best of it. This is his last season as the head coach of the Dallas Cowboys. We do know that. We know a couple cats on the team got to get paid. We know CeeDee Lamb's going to get paid. We know Michael Parsons is going to get paid. Diggs has already got his money. Diggs is coming off of an ACL tear, so he should be rejuvenated. He set out all season. He should be good to go coming into the next season. You know, like I said before earlier in the video, we have a good roster. It's executing what we have in the playoffs, not the regular season. I don't worry about them in the regular season. I do not. I know we can get it done in the regular season. I just worry about the playoffs. We can get it done in the playoffs. I think we can get it done in the playoffs. We just got to execute and build. Dallas Cowboys need to play every game as if they're last in the division. That's how they need to play every game. I do think it can be done. A lot of people ask me, you know, why are you so loyal to the Cowboys? Man, I've been a Cowboy fan since, like I said, since I was little, and I'm not jumping off the track. There's a couple bandwagons out there. My co-host Red, he's a Cowboy fan too. We're not jumping off the track. We're gonna stick with it. You know, this organization was established in 1960, January of 1960 to be exact. I believe Jerry Jones purchased the team for about $1 million. You know, we've had high moments, we've had low moments, obviously, but we're gonna stick with it. I know we got the trolls, the Stephen A's of the world, but here's what it is. Dallas Cowboys are 5-time champions, and that ranges from 96, 94, 93, 78, and 72. Yeah, I wasn't alive in 78 and 72. But I did watch that 96, 94, 93 Super Bowls. I did. Do the math as far as my age right there. But I did watch it with my old man and my mother and my sister. My older sister was there too. So we did watch them. I remember it clearly. So therein lies like people were like, oh, you weren't alive last time Dallas won a Super Bowl. Yes, I was, and I saw it with my own two eyes. Now I want my children are huge Dallas Cowboys fans too, and I want them to be able to see it with their own eyes. And we're gonna get there. It's gonna take a lot. We're gonna get there. I believe we're pretty solid in the NFC. There is some good competition out there though. You know, but I think we're really solid in the NFC East. But they're good competition. I do believe the Dallas Cowboy organization gets a lot of unnecessary criticism that most organizations do not get. I get it. It's the Cowboys. They're worth like $4 billion, and America's team, and you know the fans like to talk shit. I'm one of them. I'm not gonna lie, but they do take some heavy criticism on the sports shows. The sports debating shows, we have 8 NFC championship titles. You know, this is from 1960 to current. Like I said, worth $4 billion. We was established in 1960. You know, we can get back to where we were. We're this close. We are this close. I do believe it happens. The start of it happens this upcoming season, the off season rather. You know, the combine just happened, and then there's draft. If you're a football fan, you realize football. You're done watching it, but the business of football is ongoing right now. So that's where we are right now. We can get it done. Will I think the Cowboys get to another Super Bowl? I do. That's not me. Well, yeah, I guess it is. That's just the Cowboy fan in me talking. And I think we will get there again. You know, we have a good, solid team. We have a good, solid team who can get it done. You know, we have a coach who is solid enough. You know, so we will get there. You know, so. You know, like I said, we will get there. We're going to get back. We're going to respect the star. You see it behind me. I welcome any Cowboy slander. I welcome any Cowboy positive or negative comments. Please, I love it. So We're going to respect the star. But to answer a lot of questions that people have had for me, and I'm going to answer it again. I've answered it already. Yes, we can get back to the Super Bowl and win it soon, and with Dak Prescott. You heard it here. You heard it first. Respect the star. Like, comment, subscribe for the last rewind. Peace.